Hello everyone, I am Krooked, and this is Unscripted, the series where I take a completely unscripted look at games and give it a 1 through 10 rating, and this... Oh, this is Spider-Man and Venom Separation Anxiety for the Sega Genesis. Wow. What did it do? It sounds so bad. Oh my god, I hate the Sega Genesis. Oh, why is it awful? Why? 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 Oh. I think this looks better than the Super Nintendo version. A little bit. Oh my god, the sound is so bad. Oh, this is the worst game I have ever heard. I don't think there is a game that is worse than this in terms of sound. Oh my god. Why does it sound so bad? This feels... Oh my god. This is like if you made a Game Boy Color port of Maximum or of Separation Anxiety for the Super. Oh my god. Can you imagine playing this back in the day and all the sounds are just... Oh, wow. This is... I am so sorry to everyone for just hearing this game. Oh my god. I'm distracted because it's just so bad sounding. I need to get past the sound. Graphically, like I said, I think it's maybe a little bit better looking than the Super Nintendo version because, well, it doesn't look as bad. But that's probably because in the Super Nintendo version, we saw Maximum Carnage, and we know that it looks better. It doesn't look as bad as Maximum Carnage on the Sega Genesis, so I have to give it props for that. I think that's the only thing I can really give it props for. This suffers from the same problem that Separation Anxiety suffers from on the Super Nintendo and what Maximum Carnage suffers from on the Sega Genesis, where nothing feels satisfying. It's just like, okay, I don't really feel like Spider-Man. I don't feel like there's really much here. It's really generic. Like if I wasn't literally wearing red and blues with a spider on my chest, there'd be no indication that this is any sort of Spider-Man title. Which I mean, I guess every game is like that, you know, if it doesn't have the character, but I don't know. This doesn't feel like New York. It feels like a really generic area. The backgrounds have very little detail that make them unique, and it's more of just like, okay, basic set piece A. Enemies do a lot of damage in this, or I'm just not able to focus because the sound is literally hurting my brain. Same problems that everything on the Super Nintendo has for Separation Anxiety. Literally exact same problems that the Super Nintendo has, but made worse by the sound chip. Oh god. I just... This hurts me. Ow. Why? It's even worse for Venom because he doesn't have any of the benefits, like anything that he had from the Super Nintendo version. And he gets like super skinny. Look at that. He like gets super skinny, like way tinier than he should. Like, what happens to your waist there, Venom? He's tiny. He doesn't look like he's any different size than Spidey, and that this is a bad game, guys. That's really all this is. This is a bad game. Bad game. The sprites look like they belong in a Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Color. I'll give it props for that. And it's only the character sprites because nothing else looks like it should. Well, looks good or like it would be. God, I'd rather play Spawn than this, and Spawn isn't a good game. I think I've trashed this enough to be able to give it an accurate score. This game sucks. I wouldn't wish this on my enemies. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure Console Wars even determined that the worst version of Separation Anxiety is the one for the Sega Genesis. Do yourself a favor. Don't play this game. If for some reason you want to play this game, do it on the Super Nintendo. If you hate yourself and you love bad games, play it on Sega. But other than that, don't. This game is a 0. I know that's normally reserved for games that are no. I can't give it a 0 because it is playable. I'm sure you could beat this if you wanted to. It's a 1. The only reason it's not a 0 is I think you could beat this if you tried. But you'd have to put it on mute. And that's not fun. Where Separation Anxiety just on the Super stole all the sound from from Maximum Carnage, this just sucks. So this is a 1. And if you like me more than I liked this game, please like this video for me having to go through this. Hit the subscribe button so you never miss out on an episode of Unscripted, and hit that bell so that way you'll be notified when a new episode comes out. Other than that, if you want to support me further or if you feel bad for me, check out my Patreon. Link is in the description down below. And with all of that, I do want to thank you for watching Unscripted, and I will see you next time. Bye!